everyone, it's Sunday 10th of November and today me and my mom are leaving for Krakow, so yeah, let's go. We took a train to Krakow and our journey took about 2 hours. Due to the fact I had a ton of studying to do, I was doing some biology tasks for the entire duration of the trip to not waste my time at all. And when we arrived, we quickly moved on to our hotel, which was pretty near to the railway station. We decided to quickly stroll over to the Old Town Square for a coffee as we had a play booked at the theater that evening. The whole trip was so spontaneous that it was incredibly difficult to find anything to do in the city because everything was booked. But I was so happy to be able to escape from everyday life even for a moment because I've been really swamped with studying lately. But anyway, after our walk, we returned to our hotel to get ready and then we took the tram to get to the theater. Of course, we weren't allowed to record the play, but honestly, I felt a bit unsatisfied, not to mention disappointed. I felt like the whole thing was leading to nowhere and that kinda irritated me. Anyway, we went back to the hotel, hung out for a while, and then we went to bed. This day was probably the most ordinary of all. We got up around 9 a.m. and we had breakfast. For breakfast I got this avocado toast and it was so yummy. Around 1 p.m. we took the tram to the Jewish quarter and walked around for a while. Then we went to a cafe and they had such a good matcha. We found a really cool vintage shop located pretty near to the cafe and there were lots of cute things there. Unfortunately I couldn't find anything for myself, but it's always so fun to look at some funky clothing. Anyway, I had some money, so we took a tram to a bookstore instead and I was browsing some vinyl records. I almost left with nothing, but then I found a Fleetwood Mac vinyl record that I'd always wanted, so I was so encouraged that I wandered around the bookstore for a while and ended up buying another book that I will probably never finish because of school. But yeah, that's it. See you tomorrow. The next day was probably my favorite because the weather was quite good and it wasn't freezing cold or raining. So we took advantage of it and we went for a really long walk through the old town. We went to the park and we even hiked up to the castle hill where we bought tickets to the cathedral museum and we climbed up to the top of the bell tower where we had a beautiful view of the city. The entire city was incredibly crowded because it happened to be Independence Day. after returning to the hotel, I grabbed a coffee and sat down to study for a bit. And I know how silly it sounds, but for me, Krakow has such a academic vibe and I feel so motivated. On our last day, we woke up around 9 a.m. Then we had breakfast, and around noon, we checked out of the hotel. Unfortunately, our train was around 2 p.m., so we had to wait for about 2 hours in the lobby. I was reading a book, and I studied a bit for an English vocabulary test. On the train, I was watching a chapter of biology course. I know that the whole trip may seem boring and unspectacular. We didn't go to all the places I wanted to show you because of the weather, but for me, it was a moment of respite from school and all the pressure. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. See you in the next video. Bye!